Mark Twain's great literary work, Tom Sawyer, the young entrepreneur Tom Sawyer persuades his peers to join him in whitewashing a fence. He does this through his deft presentation of his passion and his perspective on the task. Tom's attractively positive attitude towards this task recruits his peers to join in. I believe that with the right attitude and presentation, one can break preconceived notions and inspire positive opinions. If you were to approach the average American youth and inquire about their attitude towards volunteerism, I'm almost certain it would be neutral or negative. This is a misconception all too common among the teenagers of my generation. I know from personal experience the magic that volunteerism can bring. Seeing the smiles of those I've served has been such a treasure, and knowing that even through one simple day of service I'm able to brighten another's life is such a rewarding thought, and I look forward to every volunteering opportunity I receive and complete each to the best of my ability. Volunteering has become a prominent portion of my life. I did not always feel this way. Until a few years back, I'd never even associated community service with any means of value. It was not until my own community, Gulfport, was touched by the magic of volunteerism. After Hurricane Katrina, a volunteer group from Upland, Wisconsin spent a day in our city loving on the kids and teenagers who had been affected. The group brought with them homemade blankets. They distributed one blanket to each person. I received a blanket myself. It was a bright blue quilt with yellow polka dots. Later on, I asked one of the volunteers what had motivated her to come to Mississippi that day. She shrugged and said without hesitation, "I have to do my part. It's just community service." At that time, I was sleeping on an air mattress on a cold concrete floor. That blanket kept me warm and reminded me that everything would return to normal very soon. It was not much effort to hand out a blanket, but that sweet Wisconsinite comforted me and many others during a crisis. The beneficial fruit of that day began to multiply. I realized that day that volunteering is not a thankless task like I previously believed, but a gift I'm able to give others. I'm able to affect the course of another's life with a few selfless acts of kindness. Just as that Wisconsinite affected me, I decided I ought to affect others. I was able to volunteer in and through various facets and positions. My whole attitude towards volunteerism and its value and effects were shifted from a neutral, almost negative perspective to a positive perspective. I will always cherish the memories I made volunteering at events, such as the Special Olympics, where I got the chance to be a part of making these special athletes' dream come true. My only duty was to high-five the athletes as they walked onto their events, but the smiles I received made me feel as though I were doing so much more. Events like Operation Christmas Child, where I helped package and send Christmas gifts to children who in other countries had never received any type of Christmas gift before. It is the chance to feel like one of Santa's elves. I now consider it a service to the community to enlighten my peers to the magical effect community service can have. I'm able to spread this truth through showing my passion and perspective, just like Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer's aim was to lessen his load and to dupe others. I do not propose that his malicious intentions are emulated, simply that his efficient methods of influence are beneficial to my goal. It is my aim to persuade my peers to see what a difference they can make, to break through the indifference and negativity felt by others my age, and show them all of the aspects of volunteering in the community they are unaware of and missing out on being a part of. Community is such a nebulous term to some youths. Define community. Is my community service to my neighbor, my school, my city? Like, what? The simple answer is yes. A community can be defined as any location or group of people sharing a common goal or interest. Where do I volunteer for? Or what do I volunteer, like what? I make it a point to communicate to my peers that volunteering is not rigidly defined as a day-long event complete with a laminated volunteer name tag. Any act of selfless aid to another can be considered volunteerism. This could include any range from spending a day aiding in the setup of a fundraiser to tutoring a student in a lower grade in math. Anthropologists have proposed since the beginning of their work that human beings search for purpose. The youth of my generation are no different. We search for good feelings from validation through likes on Facebook, retweets on Twitter, favorites on Instagram, and through materialistic gains. It is the driving force between some of the youth's sense of personal value to have The moment you make the choice to focus on another, there's a great sense of self-worth. The energizing and dynamic experience is the magic of volunteering. How can I use Tom Sawyer's methods? Not through sleight of hand to trick my peers into something for my personal gain, but to deftly open their eyes to a thrill readily available for their own benefit and their own experience. I believe that by sharing the passion and positive perspective that comes from volunteerism, we can persuade others to develop these opinions for themselves. Together, my fellow youths and I can experience and share the magic of volunteerism in our communities. I am most proud of my membership to the Mississippi Association of Independent Schools Honor Society. This accomplishment demonstrates recognition of all of the tireless efforts I have made throughout my high school career. The grades I've made, specifically my junior and senior years, represent all of the hours I have spent on my studies. While other students have chosen to invest their time in other pursuits, I made my education a priority. I believe my MAIS Honor Society membership depicts this well. When I was inducted into the MAIS Honor Society, I was announced to my school and to my parents as an honored student. My mother, who is a teacher at my high school, was the officiant at the induction ceremony. Having her hand me my membership card to the Honor Society, it was like the icing on the cake, considering she's one of the driving forces behind my diligence in my studies. I'm proud of all of my high school achievements. I received other individual honors